It was somewhere right around 2001. I'm going to say maybe 2002. I think 2001. It was right after what we call Y2K, 2000. And I was working for a contractor in our church 2 to 3 days a week to try to help underwrite what the church was paying us. They weren't able to pay us a full salary at that time. And so I was having to do roofing work. And I was in my upper 30s and I could feel it. Maybe if I did it 5 days a week, my body got used to it, but 2 and 3 days a week, it was killing me. And I can remember Dawn was telling me this story, this part of it. But I remember getting a page. I had a pager, and it was Dawn calling me and asking me to give her calls. So I guess about lunchtime, I went and found a phone. I drove somewhere and went and found a phone, and I called Dawn. Hey, what's going on? She says, something's wrong. I said, what do you mean? She says, I just got a notice from our insurance. We don't owe anything. The no premium due. I think they've canceled us. Something's going on with our life insurance, and they've canceled us for some reason. I don't understand this. I said, oh, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it when I get home. I'll take a look at it and we'll see what's going on. That morning, it was a Wednesday. I remember that. It was a Wednesday. Dawn had taken a whole stack of her bills and put it in with Philippians, where my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus. And closed the Bible with the bills in there and says, Father, we were youth pastors with little kids, and now we're pastoring a small church. We're not making the money we were. Nathan's having to work hours. And I am so tired of these bills that have stacked up. We have been faithful to you. We've done everything we can to try to be frugal, but I feel we're drowning. That was that morning. That afternoon, she gets that letter from the insurance company. So I get home that evening, and I'm tired. And I said, let me take a look at it. And I saw it. I said, okay, well, I'll call them in the morning and find out. The company, I don't remember the name of the company, but it was in Wisconsin, I believe it was, was the state. And so I called the number the next day, and they said, well, yes, Mr. Beam, no, you don't owe any premium. You don't need to pay anything. Matter of fact, you don't need to pay anything for a very long time. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, through our investing, and keep in mind, if anybody recalls this, old enough to remember this, around 1999 and 2000, things like AOL and Yahoo and so forth, people became millionaires within weeks or months because of the boom of the internet. And so I could understand, they made a lot of money. That's great. So they invested, and they said, with your money, and we hadn't had the insurance for maybe 3 or 4 years, they said, we've already made enough that you won't have to pay premiums for a very, very long time. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, you've got $14,000 in there. I said, really? He says, yeah, matter of fact, if you want, you can close the account and take the money. I said, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. I said, hold on. So I hung up. I talked to Dawn. I called them back. I said, all right, this is Nathan again. Are you sure? They said, yes, this is your money. We can send you a form. Now, come on. No, really, tell me. No, this is yours. I said, send the form. So they sent me the form. I filled it out. I sent it back. We got just under $14,000 and paid everything off. Wow. It felt so good to be free from that. I didn't have to work that part-time job. Every once in a while, I'd help them out painting the house or something. But I was able to be a full-time pastor. 2 years later, I get a phone call from the president of that insurance company. And he introduces himself to me. I said, yes, sir. And he says, did you make a draw on your account 2 years ago for, and he quoted the amount, and I said, yes, sir. He said, well, he said, I just wanted to verify. I said, well, is there a problem? He said, well, somehow there was a clerical error, and the decimal point was put in the wrong place. It was actually 1,400, not 14,000. I said, oh, we've already paid all of our bills off. He said, it's our fault. It's our mistake. Don't worry about it. Have a good day. God's so good.